From Davos this year came one of the most unusual foreign policy announcements in the recent memory: Donald Trump's Board of Peace. It was presented as a bold solution to a tired world, a new international body that could cut through diplomatic deadlock and finally end the conflict that seemed stuck forever. Supporters call it a decisive leadership. Critics see something far more troubling: a rebranded version of global power politics, wrapped in the language of peace, with the United States firmly at the center. So, what is the Board of Peace really about, and why is it making so many countries uneasy? To understand the Board of Peace, we have to understand the moment it arrived in. Across the world, wars are dragging on with no clear end. Ceasefires collapse, negotiations stall, global institutions meant to prevent the conflict often move slowly or get stuck into the veto politics. From Gaza to Ukraine, there is a growing belief that the existing system struggles to act decisively when it matters most. Trump's proposal taps directly into this frustration, arguing that if the old system can't deliver peace, then maybe it's time to build something new, something faster, smaller, and more powerful. On paper, the Board of Peace sounds almost ideal: a limited group of powerful countries, faster decision making, less bureaucracy, a body that steps into the conflict zones, enforces stability, oversees rebuilding, and moves on. No endless resolutions, no years of debate, just action. In a world exhausted by the process and delay, that promise is attractive. But peace has never been just about speed. It's about legitimacy, balance, and who gets a voice when future is being decided. This is where the doubts begin to surface. Unlike the United Nations, the Board of Peace is not built on broad global representation. It is US-led, closely tied to Trump's leadership, and structured around selective participation rather than universal inclusion. Membership is limited, influence is uneven. That raises a deeper question: who defines peace and whose interest shapes it? History reminds us that peace agreements don't just end wars, they shape power long after fighting stops. And when leadership is centralized, many countries worry they are being asked to follow the decisions rather than help make them. This concern becomes clearer when we look at what else was happening at the same time. Around the board's launch, Trump revived discussions about Greenland, an autonomous territory of Denmark with major strategic importance in the Arctic. His remarks unsettled the European leaders and reignited the fears about sovereignty, pressure tactics, and unilateral decision-making. While he later stepped back from any suggestions of force, the episode reinforced a broader pattern in Trump's foreign policy: bold moves that challenge established norms and keep allies guessing. Then context matters because it shapes how initiatives like the Board of Peace are interrupted across the world. Critics argue that Board of Peace looks less like a reform, more like a replacement. Not a system built through the global consensus, but one driven by the alignment and leverage. Supporters respond that you want talks while the board acts. Skeptics counter that acting quickly does not always mean acting fairly, and without broad trust, even powerful institutions struggle to endure. Several major countries have remained cautious and chosen not to join, signaling concern about the transparency, governance, and long-term credibility. So, is Trump's Board of Peace genuinely about ending the conflicts? Partly yes. It emerges from the real frustration with a system many believe broken, but it also reflects a clear worldview that peace works best when power is concentrated and leadership is strong rather than shared and slow. Whether this becomes a meaningful tool or stability or a symbol of shifting the world order will depend not on what it promises, but on how the world responds with trust, resistance, or quiet distance. If this story made you pause and see the global power a little differently, stay with us and subscribe. These shifts don't always arrive with wars or breaking headlines. Sometimes they unfold quietly in boardrooms, summits, and symbols. And those are the stories worth paying attention to because they shape the world we wake up tomorrow.